Welcome back. We're back here with the Rx7. We're at Paxton's house. He's behind the camera. The idea is what we're going to do is we're going to pull the top of the motor off, which is actually the intake here. We got to pull all this off. We're going to pull the wiring harness. We got a couple of bugs in here, which is the temperature sensor is not reading correctly. We're going to figure that out. We're also going to clean up the wiring harness, which we didn't get to do when we were putting the motor in. The reason for that was because we were rushed by the owner of the car. We're going to fix that. We're also going to add some LS coils and get that taken care of. And we're going to mount those over here in this corner and get this all nice and cleaned up and get a setup taken care of and make sure this thing's going to run good. The reason we want this to run a lot better, we're going to clean up this engine bay, make it look a lot cleaner. And we'll bring that to you as we can get this done, and we'll be right back. Now you can see with the upper intake off here, you can see we can get to the wiring harness that's down here. You can see where the coils were originally mounted at the moment. They're not in a good spot. We actually have a coil that is actually not plugged in all the way, which is one of the problems that we were having with spinning and sputtering. We are going to pull this harness out. We're going to unplug everything, get this all cleaned up. There's some connections that need to be pulled out completely. We're also going to find out why there's a wire down here that is not working at all. We're going to pull this all the way back to the computer and try to figure out what's going on. All right, we got most of the harness pulled through from the inside to the outside. Here you go. 2/3 of the harness, or 90% of the harness is disconnected. We have a couple of wires left to disconnect off of the engine. We will have this harness off of the motor, and we will go through this entire harness and go through and check every wire, make sure everything's good, make sure everything's properly good, grounded, connected, go from one end to the other, make sure everything's kosher and good to go. All right, here's the rest of the harness. We're getting it pulled out here. Unfortunately, I routed my fuel lines on top of it, so I'm having to pull it through underneath the fuel lines. But you're getting it pulled out. A couple wires got pulled. As long as I don't have anything else connected, I think I do. There's something going to the back. But for the most part, that is our harness, and I just flipped over our button. So, there's our harness. See it there? That's what we're going to be going through, and that's what we're going to be checking out. Here you can see the wiring harness. We've got it all stripped apart. We did find a few of the issues that we were looking for. One of them was this right here. Two of the sensors were actually connected together, which didn't complete the circuit. We didn't know that for some reason. We don't know why it was wired that way. The previous owner had somehow, don't know how it did it, but previous owner had it wired that direction. Don't know how he made it work, but somehow he had made it work. We'd also found a couple other things that we got to fix the ground wires. We got a few other connections that we got to take out of here. We got some cleaning up to do on the harness. Other than that, everything is still looking pretty good. We're going to get the wiring diagram. We'll have that back out here, and we will get this all taken care of.